If you will watch this video to the end, I promise you, you'll be able to start your own waist beads business, making some money for yourself. Because in this video, I'm going to be teaching you two different ways of making waist beads. I'm also going to show you tricks on how to make it for yourself and how to make it for sale. Also, I'm going to be teaching you what you can do to your screw lock if the holes are small. Along the way, I'll be dropping several other tips and tricks to make your waist bead making far easier for you. If this is the first time you're coming across any of my videos, my name is Jennifer Namele Afiamate, Jenny's Bead CEO. We are the top rated beads training center here in Ghana. You can find that out by typing our name, Jenny's Beads Creation and Training Center, on Google, and read the amazing reviews our students and our clients have to say about us. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Also, go through our page because we've already posted some amazing tutorials that should help you on your beading journey. If you're watching this on any other platform, also head to our YouTube, subscribe, because the more subscribers we have, the more intricate the tutorials will get. If you're watching this and you're also interested in having a one-on-one tutorial with me, whether online or in person, there is room for that. Just read the caption, pick my number, and WhatsApp me. We are located here in Ghana, Accra, Parakuo Estate, Domi area to be precise. Now let's get into the video. Make sure you watch it to the end because there'll be a lot of fantastic tips and tricks for you to learn. See ya. These are called glow in the dark. When it comes to waist bead making, the materials used are endless. As you can see, how these materials are combined to create very beautiful waist beads. They come in different shapes and sizes. I got most of these pictures online. Unfortunately, I don't know the owner. So if you're watching this, you see your picture in this, shout out yourself in the comment section. So these are some of the works you can create for waist beads. It's so versatile. You can do them anyhow, any color, any shape, any type you want. Okay. And in this video, I'm going to show you so many tips and tricks to make this work easy for you. Many are making money just off of waist beads. These are called pole beads. They've been combined with a glow in the dark butterfly. You can also make it very simple like this. These are also bicons, and in this video I'm going to be using the bicons and size 6 mm crystals. Now these are the screw locks that are mostly used for waist beads, and I mentioned earlier that sometimes the holes are very small, and this is what you should do when you buy it and the holes are small or inside is quite rough. You get a sharp scissor or something with a sharp edge and twist it around in the hole. Once the tip can enter the hole, just twist it until you've been able to create a big enough hole to use. It also smooths that part so that it doesn't cut your thread. These are also hook and eye or lobster claws as some call it. So for the first part, we're going to be using fishing line. You either use 0.6 or 0.7 for waist beads mostly, and in this video I'm going to be using 0.7 because it's thicker than the 0.6. Now I'm using this very first part to create an anklet because you can use the same procedure that you use for waist bead making to create anklets. So you're going to put your lock on and then tie the end of the thread. You need a plier to help you be able to tighten that knot. Also remember that the screw lock, sorry, is two. So you have to unscrew it to open it up, and then you put half at each end of your thread. After tying your knot, make sure you cut your thread very closely. That's why you need to pull it so that the knot is very tight, so that when you cut it very close, it does not unravel. So this is what you have. These are some green seed beads I'll be using. Now, when starting any waist beads or even anklet, make sure you have very smaller beads to use for the beginning, especially if you are doing waist beads using bigger beads like this. You want to create that beginning to help the person be able to locate the screw lock. If you start right away with the big beads, the person will find it difficult to locate the screw lock. So here I'm starting off my anklet. Now, the difficult aspect of using fishing line is that you have to pick the beads by hand. At least that's what I do. So if you have a better way of doing it, please drop it in the comments. I would like to know. So you pick these one by one. You cannot use um you know, needles because the tip of the thread is quite thick. And the needle that you use, unless you're using a bigger bead for your work, you may not be able to pass both the thread and the needle through your bead. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing a very basic, simple arrangement for my anklet, and that's what you see me doing. One rule I have is to pour your beads small, small, so that at the end of the work, you don't have so much beads to separate. It's not that um you cannot pour so much. Just pour a few, and as it's getting finished, you pour a bit more. It helps you so that you don't have a whole lot of beads to separate at the end. So this is my very basic anklet that I'm doing. If you are making it for somebody else, make sure to get the measurement of the person's leg. While some people like it tight around their ankle, some people want it to be loose. So ask the client, what measurement do you want me to use, and then use that for the person. Now I'm making this one for myself, so I'm just going to make it um to fit my leg, and I believe this will fit my leg. I didn't measure this, but when you've been in the business for a while, these things come to you easily. So this time we're going to pass from the back upwards, and then we will pull the thread, making sure the inside is tight, so that when we tie it, the leftover thread that will be inside the work will not be so much. Okay, so you tie a very tight knot. This time I'm going to do it 2 times, and then make sure it's at the tip of the lock. If it is extended, there will be so much extra thread in your work and even make your work bigger. So make sure you pull the thread out of the work before you tie the knot, and cut the thread very closely to the knot. You see the excess thread that is left, when you spread it to, they'll be left with just a little bit at the end. That is another issue with using, fishing line for your work. So in the next part, I'm going to be showing you how to use polyester thread. I have this leg dummy, so I'm going to put it around so you see how beautiful it looks. I'm also going to show myself wearing it so that you can see it. Pardon my leg, I've not done my pedicure, so so that's how it looks with my green dress. Very simple and basic. So this is polyester thread. This is what's used for these type of waist beads that you see in town. Now you're going to do a longer thread. This is just a demo, and then you fold it into two, and then you fold it again to give you the waistline. I'm going to show you with a measuring tape. So I'm using a very long measuring tape. There's 120 inches measuring tape. So let's take it. You're going to use the full 120 for your measurement, and then you fold it into two to get your waistline. Now, when you are making it for yourself, or the measurement of the client, then you can get that measurement and add at least 15 inches for your tying of thread and all other things. It's best when the thread is longer than the measurement of the person's waist. If you are not making it for somebody in particular and you're just making it for sale, make sure to make it far longer so that whenever the client comes, it will be able to fit. So I have this thickness, this I think 8. So when I fold it, it will give me 16. Because I'm using a bicon, I'm making it lighter. But if you're using bigger beads, make sure to increase the number of folds. Okay, so now that I fold it into two, I will have a middle part like this. And you'll see what I'll do with this middle part. Okay, so I will tie the ends of the thread together. Please, if you don't understand anything I'm explaining, kindly put it in the comment section. I will do my best to explain it to you. So still you need a plier to pull on your thread, unless you have very good hands that can pull short thread. always cut your thread very close to the knot so as not to feel the lock so much that the other end cannot enter. Again, I'm trying to open up the space. So what you're going to do is to cut a shorter thread and then pass that through a needle. This is why using this method is quite easy, because with this one you can use a needle. A friend actually taught me this way of making it, and shout out to my friend Auntie Jenny of Kesanshe. I hope I got the name right. So with the middle part, you're going to pass your shorter thread through. That one you just need just one, okay? Then you pass it through the middle and you tie a single knot. Okay. Now you don't want the knot to be right where the thread meets. If you're using a smaller bead, it will get stuck there. You don't want it to be close to where the needle hole is too. It will affect it. So you want that knot for the shorter thread to be somewhere in the middle. Okay. So you are now going to pick the half side of your screw lock and pass the needle inside it, because now there's a knot, so the knot will get hooked inside the screw lock. Remember, you always have to start with a few beads that are smaller than the screw lock. Now there's another way that I like to do it, especially if I'm using the needle. I like to pass through the beads on the thread. Okay, on the thread, especially if you're using more of the bicons or the crystal beads that are already threaded. You just pass the needle through them, count them, and there you go. Again, I'm just doing something very simple. At the end, I'm going to be displaying some beautiful works that I found online for you to see the different ways that you can design your waist beads. Okay, so we're going to be, you know, adding. You can choose whatever design you want. You can put any bead, any bigger bead or smaller bead. These my waist beads are virgins. You can make it as hot as you want it to be. So this is what I am doing. You can add any color, add any shape, make it very interesting. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. Recording voiceover for these videos is not easy. So you're going to make sure you repeat the same thing at the other end as well. That is picking the smaller beads before you end your work. Now, this is what I'm saying. If the bigger beads ends the work, when you put on the lock, it will be difficult for the person to locate the lock. So that's why we use the smaller beads. So when the person is trying to, locate the lock, it's very easy for the person, especially if the waist bead is going to be done with bigger size beads. Okay. So you put your other half of the screw lock on. Now you're going to pull on the thread, on the bead, and any excess thread that is inside will be pulled out, as you can see. Some people, after doing their waist beads, they realize there's so much space in it. It's because you don't pull it. Every time, pull it and make sure inside is tight. Okay, make sure inside is tight. I'm going to show you how you're going to make it loose after. Make sure inside is tight before tying your knot, and tight. If you are not yet finishing it off, this is what you do. Maybe if you are doing it for sale, I like to put the lock on and then leave it so that when somebody come, I can easily just finish it off. So this is it. If you already have the measurement of the person, go ahead and then tie it. But make sure you pull on the bead and make sure inside the work is very tight. I'm going to do the knot twice. Okay. Now, with the tightness in the work, after you cut your knot very close, you pull. See that it's very tight. You pull on the excess thread that will come from where the lock is, and that will make the work flexible again and prevent you from having excess thread in your work. I'm sorry if I'm mixing the words, but if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. So this is what I mean glow in the dark. This one, when I put off the light, it was glowing in the dark, but I couldn't show you. Okay, so these are some of the amazing pictures I found online. You can take inspiration from them. If these are your work and you come across them here, please comment in the comment section. Let me know, and then hype you up. I didn't know who these belong to, so I can't give names. So these are some of the amazing ways you can do waist beads. I hope this video has helped you, it's giving you an idea. You can start a business with a little capital. You can go to town, Mokola, if you're in Accra, go to Mokola, buy some beads and start making these for sale. If this video gave you any new knowledge or has helped you in any way, consider liking and subscribing. The more subscribers we have, the more tutorials that will be coming. So God bless you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye. In our next video, we'll be looking at 5 important books that any beader should own, and I'll be telling you my favorite one and why I like that one.